My regrets look just like texts I shouldn't send. And I got neighbors that more like strangers, we could be friends. I just need a way out.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey everybody, this is Cristal, shooting another episode, or actually the first official one of me interviewing someone of the life we live. And I've got today my good friend Erik Hanchey, frontman of American Gypsy Band.
Hey everybody.
So we've been friends for a few years, and I followed the band, and I'm pretty much a mega fan. I've told Erik, biggest compliment in the world ever, that once the world lost Chris Cornell, Erik became my voice. I've told you that. I've texted you that. It's not bullshit. Like, I have it in writing.
I'll take it.
And now we're on video. So, no, if you've never heard this band, they're amazing. And Erik's voice is that nice and raspy kind of sexy thing. But, you know, they write original music, and they've got just some really great songs. So I'm pretty psyched about having you and digging into that brain. And
Glad to be here.
I want to hear some of the backstories of these songs. You know, I go and listen to you and hear the songs that you guys play. And I just realized that I didn't sound check this thing to make sure that we can actually hear ourselves. So we had a technical difficulty there. Anyway, we're back.
Take two.
So anyway, we want to kind of dig into a couple other songs that Erik wrote. One is called The Creature. And tell me what inspired you to write that?
So The Creature is just like my alter ego, I guess. Like, it's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. Creature, I call it my shadow, the person or entity that shows up once I've been having too much fun for too long.
How?
Well, I'm an alcoholic and, you know, recovering drug addict, and the creature is just that part of you that you're not supposed to show to people, but just sort of shows up.
So
I've had situations that I don't remember, and people say, like, well, yeah, this happened and that happened, and it's like I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And I have to live with it through other people's stories. Like, like, I didn't even, it's like something you've never done. You would never talk to someone that way, and all of a sudden you do, and you behave irrationally. I've been in situations where the police arrive. So that's the creature. The creature is when you start out with the best of intentions to have a good time, and then Erik checks out.
And it all kind of goes to shit.
And then the creature checks in.
Okay. And is the creature a cool guy, or is he kind of a jerk guy?
He's a
Depending on what the mood is, or, I mean, does it change for you? Because sometimes people are, you know, drink and they become a happy drunk, and then sometimes depending on the mindset, they, you know, whatever their emotions are that day.
I think anybody that drinks to the level that I've been known to drink to is just 1 to 2 drinks away from that bad place, that blackout state. And that's really what the creature is all about, and about looking back on events in your life and where you've made these mistakes, and, you know, they're always there to kind of haunt you, and it's you wish they hadn't happened.
Yeah.
And that's what the song is about. Just wishing you could take those times away and not have gone there.
Right.
And have that regret.
And
if that makes sense.
It does make sense, but I mean, for you, and I'm just gonna ask, I mean, that's the only way I know how to do. So how do you handle when the creatures come out and say somebody's come to you and said, hey dude, like, you really hurt me and what you said or what you did? I mean, is the way you handle it to try to not go into that place again, or is it just like, this is who I am and you just kind of got to accept me for who I am?
Well, you know, I've certainly tried that route. as far as like, dealing with it combatively, like, well, if you can't take me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best.
Right.
But I don't think that's really the answer. I think that you need to just constantly try to improve yourself and avoid getting to that place. So that's my constant struggle, battling with that. You just don't, where do you stop?
And is it still a
Stop.
battle?
Definitely.
I mean, are you still currently, in your current state, are you still, do you consider yourself currently still an alcoholic or recovering? And how does that mindset work? Because I've had an addict son, I had an addict ex-husband. And so, and addiction has been a very prevalent thing in my family. Mm-hmm. And so I know it's not something that you decide, okay, I'm done, and then you just sit it on a shelf. I know it's a constant fight, but I know that there is a time for some people where it's a part of your past, even though it's a daily struggle not to go there, you're able to not go there. Have you gone that far yet?
With alcohol, it's a daily thing. It's just something to constantly keep in check.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I'm recovered by any stretch. I've tried a lot. I've done AA. I've been sober for as long as 6 months. Can really go longer than that. But it's a constant battle. Whenever I try to quit, I feel like sometimes I wind up diving farther in.
Right.
So as dangerous as it is, I've just tried to find some form of moderation, like normal guy drinking.
Yeah, well.
And it's tough because all it takes is the right amount of the right friends to be around or the wrong friends to be around. Like a friend you hadn't seen in a long time, and you're like, hey, I haven't seen you. Let's celebrate. And it starts out to be the best thing, and then it's like, where did the day go?
Right.
And that's my problem. I
So
can fall into that trap real quick. So
you're not drinking to get drunk. You just end up getting drunk.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there's also times where something happened, like you lose a friend or a family member, or you have a really bad argument with the one you love or a family member. Like something sets you off. Job, family. It could, it's anything, and anything can put you in the wrong direction, and it's always been a coping mechanism.
So when
for
did
me,
that start
drinking.
for you?
Really young.
Like how young?
I started drinking when I was 10.
Oh shit.
I'm 42.
Damn. Like drinking, just here sneaking a beer out of your dad's cooler, or
I was drunk for the first time when I was 10 years old. At my oldest sister's wedding.
Well, hey.
Sorry to laugh.
Well, hey, no.
Sorry, Lisa.
I remember the first time I got drunk, I was probably 12.
Well, it's just, drinking was just always around. Yeah. That's just something that the men always did in my family. So as a kid, I would watch that and see these habits, things that men do.
Right.
And I wanted to do it. If I saw beer lying around, I'd go chug that thing when Dad wasn't looking.
Right.
And it's something that I was able to drink my first beer at a young age. It was accepted. Oh, hey, give the boy a beer.
That's how my dad.
That was just
it
kind
was
of the way.
Initiation.
It was a southern
and my
southern
dad was
thing.
The same way. The boys turned 13.
The first time I ever fired a gun, I was drinking beer, and I was before 10 years old. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I was drunk for the first time at 10. And by the time I was like 12, 13, like I was already sneaking out, drinking whiskey, getting loaded.
And did your
high school
parents
and college,
know that? That it was to that degree?
No, I don't think they really figured that out till senior year of high school. And then once I was in college, it was like, uh-oh, the genie's out of the bottle kind of thing. Not to make light of it, but I've just been around alcohol for a really long time, and it seemed like it just seemed like a natural thing to do. And the older I got, the more of a problem it became, the less my body could. I think it has to do with how active you are. Like I played sports when I was young, and it was just like you always had something else to focus on, so it didn't become like this kind of like junkie boozer thing.
Right.
Because there were so many other things to do. But the older I got, the more I noticed it like got a hold of me. Like in my late 30s and now my early 40s, it just was one of those things. When I was younger, before I met Shanna, like,
And we love Shanna.
you know, different life. I would drink and do amphetamines. So it's kind of like this real wicked cocktail. Like you'd start getting too drunk and then go, I'm gonna do this to pick me back up.
Oh,
And then,
yeah.
oh, my heart's fucking pumping, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna drink more to mellow that out.
Yeah.
So it's just always this up and down teeter-totter ride. And when I got that out of my life, I was still drinking as much as I ever did, and didn't have that, you know, other guy on the teeter-totter.
Right.
So I just kind of turned into a sort of a
So
really
that's
bad,
when-
really bad drunk. You know, and that's when I started noticing these things, and that's kind of where the song came from. Like just having to apologize for things that you don't even remember happening
Right.
because you were blackout drunk, and like walking blackout drunk. That's the scariest part.
Yeah.
Like I've just had situations like, yeah, you walked right into the bar and you said this to that guy.
And you're a big dude,
And then this,
so,
and then
I mean-
this happened. Like what?
Yeah.
You know, and then it takes like 3 people telling me the story, or like someone showing me some camera footage. Like, I'm so embarrassed.
Well, but I mean, as an artist and a performer, I'm sure, I mean, you're surrounded by alcohol and people sending drinks up to the stage. Hell, I've done it, you know, send a shot or buy a shot or let's have a shot with the guys or whatever. And I don't even drink. And I think the last time I got drunk was with your band. So I won't talk about that. But anyway, so you're a really bad influence, you guys. I mean, how do you do that in a way where you're polite or try? I know it's got to be how do you keep a boundary, or do you even try to keep a boundary?
Well, I'm not going to say that I've never been drunk at a show, because that'd be a lie. I have. It's few and far between. When I'm at a show,
And it was after the show that we were
people
drinking.
have come to see us. Like I feel a responsibility to.
Hang out with them.
You're at work.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are drinking, so I want to drink with them. I typically don't overdo it at a show, but I have.
Right.
I have gotten to the point where it's just like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
past the point I should, but nothing really terrible's ever happened.
Yeah. I've never heard of anything at a show that was.
The dangerous times are like when I'm alone with my thoughts. You know, if I have several hours of a day to spare and I find myself in a bar or, you know,
So what are you?
with an old friend splitting a bottle of whatever, that's when, you know, idle hands, you know.
So I'm guessing your thoughts are. I mean, you're thinking about some triggers for yourself. I mean, obviously you're having some trigger thoughts.
Well,
Is it?
I think everybody has times in their life that they look back on. I wish I could have done that better. There's regret, even though
Oh, dude,
it's a
love
waste
it.
of time to regret things because
Regret and guilt
past,
are
the past
kind
is
of my.
prologue. But you know, I think it really just comes down to how fragile we all are. You
How
know,
fragile are you?
I mean, fragile enough to take things to the limit. 'Cause I never set out to do that. You know, I never ever woke up in the morning that I can remember and said, hey, you know what, I'm going to get so fucking bombed today that I don't remember. But I've done it, you know, at least 3 dozen times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably a conservative estimate.
But I'm
So you
proud
don't-
of you for
you don't
owning it.
Well, you
I
have to.
mean,
If
well,
if
you say you
if
have to. I've been around so many that just can't or won't or only will admit it in the moment, but can't own it like in a conversation like this or to a stranger or to even a friend. I mean, it's only to the people that have actually witnessed it that they can own it. So
Yeah, well, I've definitely owned it. I feel like I have to. It's the only way I can make things better. is to own it and be constantly aware of where not to go.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is to never let that creature out of the bottle again. But
Mm-hmm.
it happens more than I care to admit.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel as far as, I guess, your support system for that? And I mean, how is, your love life in regards to that, your family life, your band life? I mean, how forgiving are they, and how do you work through that with them?
Well, I feel lucky. I mean, Shanna is still here with me, and my band is still here with me. I've been through some band members. I hope none of them left because of that. I hope it was like extraneous things. But I can't help but think that might have been a contributing factor. It's not easy to be around an alcoholic in a professional setting. But not to focus on the negative, I feel like I make up for that bad with a lot of other positive things I bring to the table and to friendships and relationships, my family. But yeah, it's been a struggle, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But it seems like you want to be in a better place, and you want.
Well, I've tried sobriety, and it just didn't. It worked to an extent, and it didn't work. Like, I was just never me. I was like this person, like I felt like this shell of a person
When you're sober?
that I used to be. Yeah, that's how I felt. And so that's why
Is it uncomfortable?
I've never. It is.
Is it uncomfortable because of your thoughts, or is
I'll
it
put it to you this way.
uncomfortable because...
It's
Hold
not.
on.
It's not.
Okay. He's over here.
It's-
Eric's snoozing on my couch.
It's not uncomfortable to be sober. I mean, in certain situations, you obviously need to be sober.
Right.
But there just has always been that time of the day or that situation where it's like, okay, everyone's having a drink. I want one.
So it's just the urge.
Yeah.
Do you have anxiety?
Yeah. Definitely.
So other than alcohol, how do you handle that?
Drugs and exercise. Weed
You
helps.
work out?
Not as often as I should. But yeah, exercise helps. Like going to the gym clears my head, and I used to make a deal with myself whenever you feel like going to the bar, go to the gym, and it was really a healthy thing. And like the more I do that, the better I feel. Mm-hmm. So that's been really good for me. And if I could just do that a little more often, people just make excuses. How many people own a gym membership they don't use, or don't use as much as they'd like to?
Yeah.
So that's me.
Everybody.
I'm just like those people. So that helps. But yeah, like smoking a little grass, drinking. And I'm not a really big smoker. Like that's kind of like a Sunday afternoon affair because I'm kind of I've got shit to do guy, and I don't get much done when I'm high.
Right.
I'm kind of like go, get it all done. And then at the end of the day, it's like,
yeah,
pop a top.
Let's chill out.
Let's,
I'm done.
Yeah, let's decompress.
Yeah.
So, drinking has always just been the bitch of the bunch. Like drugs were pretty easy to stay away from. Like I've done a lot, but it was one of those deals. It wasn't
take it
like
or leave it kind of deal.
I never woke up in the morning saying, "Hey man, I just need a line of cocaine." Boy, I'd like to take a hit of acid right now. Mm-hmm. I've never been like a wake and bake guy. Like I can't start the day before I smoke a joint.
Yeah, hell, I'd go right back to bed.
I've never been that guy, and I rarely wake up even feeling like I need a drink. But I've had plenty of those mornings, like those hangover mornings. Where like, well, the only way to get past this is just have a shot.
Right.
Drugs are always kind of like an extraneous result of alcohol.
Right.
Like.
That's where you go after you're already.
I'm loaded. I'm drunk.
So let's just go on.
Who's got Coke?
Yeah.
Because I'll be less drunk.
That'll sober
That's how
me
that
up.
happened. But that's not like something I ever like. Oh man, if I just had some of that right now. It's always just been booze.
Yeah.
Not just been booze, but that's always been the one that I couldn't kick.
Your go-to.
Yeah. And I think it's just because I was around it so often when I was very young. It's like just sort of a wicked evolution. It's just in me.
No, and I mean, and I get it because, you know, what you explained was kind of how my family was. I mean, it was just like just, you know, coming forward for a man, you know, when you're 13 or whatever the age, you get the boy drunk and that puts him into manhood and, you know, watch him drink till he pukes or whatever. I mean, that, you know, oh God, I remember that my brothers doing that. And then when my boys got old enough, you know, my dad, here's a beer. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to repeat that whole cycle with my kids, you know.
Sure.
But so it was a little more monitored, you know, through me because my dad wasn't an alcoholic, but he, you know, he drank to party. I mean, it was to have a good time. My grandfather was an alcoholic and a binge alcoholic and an angry, mean, you know, but I had a relationship with someone in the past that would do what you said, like he would black out, just not remember anything. And it was almost like a seizure he would go into because it was just this rage, you know, and it was, I mean, he'd destroy shit and just not even remember it happened and come out of it like, what the hell, blood all over me, shit everywhere, you know, like what did I do? Well, you just had 30 minutes of uncontrolled rage, you know, never remembered a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got more of those moments, and yeah, like I said, I care to admit, but they happened, you know. It's almost a shame that you don't remember it, because I think if you did remember it, you'd learn more from it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, definitely.
You never no one sets out to black out.
Right.
And that's the weird thing, you know, because as a kid, like high school, you just drink because let's go keg party. You know, in college, like you're just, it's illegal. You're not even legal enough. You're not legal age to drink.
Right.
So you're gonna do it. Someone's got some grass, you're gonna smoke it.
Right.
You know, it's like a fun thing and it's like an innocent thing, even though it's illegal. These weird things didn't really start happening to me till like my late 30s.
No, so is that when the creatures started showing up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't do stupid shit when I was a kid and in college, but I remember all of it.
Right.
You know? Some switch just went off. Like tolerance, you know, your body changes. You can't maybe metabolize alcohol like you could when you were younger.
Emotionally, and you change? Did something happen? I mean, something significant?
No,
happen? Somebody died. Somebody
definitely
an accident. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think any of that really. I mean, significant sad things did happen in my life, but that, and I think the older you get, the more often that happens. Mm-hmm. You lose more people the older you get.
Life happens.
You know, like. So I don't blame it on that. I don't know. If I knew, I'd have this all figured out by now, and I don't.
Yeah.
So it's just something I try to keep an eye on, and
you're still working through.
Yeah. And that's all. You know. I've had people tell me, you know, because there's all these, you know, I think that there's a lot of good programs out there. I think therapy is a good thing. I think AA is a good program. I think religion is good if it works for you, but
we've talked about therapy before. Are you still, I mean, you and I have had discussions about that. I mean.
Yeah, I went, and it was helpful. And then I reached a point, just like with AA, it's like, well, standing in this room talking about it with people for an hour and then going back to life like you always do isn't going to keep you from doing it. Mm-hmm. Just let's get back to everything else in your life and try to keep a hold on it.
And what about your writing? What helps motivate you to write? Or gets you in the mindset, I guess? I mean, is it something that you go into a day like a job saying, okay, I'm going to write today? Or is it something pops in your head and like, ooh, that's something? Having
peace and quiet is the key thing to writing for me. There's no like I have to be sober, or I have to be drunk, or I have to be high. I just need time to myself, time to decompress. Like, you know, I don't usually write a good song at work.
Yeah, no, I'm
sure. You know what I mean? Or I don't write a song when I'm on stage singing another song. I've had real good luck just like on a road trip. Like I'm driving from point A to point B and it's a 2-hour drive.
Right.
That's when a song will happen. Turn off the radio.
Yeah.
Quiet.
And let your mind just kind of go.
Everybody shut the fuck up.
Right.
Or like just being alone.
Yeah.
I've got to be alone, really. I don't generally write a song with other people around.
Yeah. My best thoughts are
I will,
at night. Are you the one too? At night, like I lay down and go to sleep and my head doesn't shut off. And
Yeah.
that's when, if I had any talent of any kind whatsoever, it would be creating. I'd be creating in the night. I mean, because that's when my thoughts. And if I'm a little in a little altered state of mind, I mean, my brain can go into some really interesting places. And I think, oh my God, like I think I just cured cancer right then. You know, I mean, I think I just solved all the world's problems. And it's 2 a.m. and I'm here by myself and I'm not going to remember tomorrow. So, but
it definitely seems to happen more easily in the nighttime hours, or the wee early morning. You know, like when everyone else is asleep.
Yeah.
That's when a lot of the thoughts happen, and I've written some good songs.
Well, let's talk about Travis County Jail.
It's another great place to write a song. Because you're alone with your thoughts.
Yeah. How long was your little vacation time there?
Oh, well, the first time was just like 48 hours.
Okay.
And I was picked up for public intoxication, and I resisted arrest.
Is that where you wrote the story? Was this the song about the first time, or was it more than
so
one?
I wrote the chorus while I was sitting there alone in jail, wishing I was home with Shanna.
Yeah.
And we were kind of a new item at that time, and I was just like, you stupid fuck.
What a great way to start a relationship.
Man, I should have just gone home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Should have just gone home and waited for her call. But I turned it into an all-day drink marathon.
Was she with you?
No. The weird thing is, her and I started the day together. We had a really nice lunch, and I had been sick like for several days before, like really bad cough and allergies, and I went and got like one of the steroid shots, and I was feeling better.
Oh,
like, fuck, man, I'm Superman.
Let's go.
So we went and we met,
healed.
and I just I could do no wrong, and we had a good afternoon together. She had somewhere to go. Something was going on with her computer. She had to go get it repaired, and she said, "Well, behave yourself. I'm coming back for you. So I need you like coherent." No problem. And I just, I don't. It's one of those deals like when you're out, especially in a small town like where we live, like people know you and everybody wants to buy you a drink. And I definitely was having trouble saying no that day, and it just turned into an all-day drunk, and it ties into the other song. Mm-hmm. This is an example of how the creature appears. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember this happening. Now I remember seeing Shanna, and I remember lunch, and I remember saying goodbye, I'll see you later. But then there came this point in the day that I don't. Like I lost at least an hour of that day. And so what I'm telling you, I'm getting from other people.
Right.
That were witnessing, like owners and managers of the bar that watched it all go down. Apparently at one point, I did what you don't do in a bar, and I put my head down.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to go to sleep on the bar because the Hanchey had just done tapped out. Like he's just done.
Yeah.
And some nice person sitting next to me, I don't remember this, mind you, we go, hey buddy, they're gonna kick you out of here. They're gonna kick you out of here if you keep doing that. And it woke me up, and all I can imagine is that I didn't know where I was or who this was I was talking to and how I got there. And I freaked out into like a violent rage.
Oh no.
And started breaking shit in the middle of a bar in Pflugerville, Red Rooster.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Where Shannon was the manager at the time.
Oh, that's even better.
And so I don't remember doing it, but it was bad. And I was like, anybody that got in my way, I was knocking them down or trying to knock them down. I hit somebody with a pool cue. I broke a beer light. And it was just really bad. So that's the bad part. The good part is, you know, the song's kind of a lighthearted, funny song. Hey, don't fuck up. You wind up in Travis County jail.
Tased.
That's what happened. So to keep, you know, the dramatic part of it was, they wound up not only calling the cops, but someone called Shannon like, you gotta get up here soon because cops are on the way. He's going to jail. This is fucking bad. And she was trying to sneak me out the back door, just get in the car before the cops arrived. Well, the cops arrived, they're like, Mr. Hanchey, up against the wall kind of thing. I was like, oh no, we're out of here.
I got places to go.
We're good. I had, you know, like, no, it wasn't occurring to me they were here for me.
Right.
Like, you got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's,
So you had totally forgotten about all
I
this
don't
stuff.
remember any of that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I naturally resisted arrest because I didn't feel I'd done anything wrong. And I did a whole lot wrong. So, you know, the more you resist, the more they rough you up. And I deserved a minute. They tased me 4 times and they wound up having to hog tie me. And there's all kind of witnesses, people filming it on their phone. And, you know, they locked me up at Travis County Jail. And I remember getting my phone call and calling up my dad saying, we've got a case, Dad. This is fucking, This is police brutality. Because, you know, it just all happened.
Right.
You know, it's not like Shanna got to text me while I was in the jail cell or while they were booking me. You know, once they got you cuffed, they got all your shit. You're locked up. You don't get to talk to anyone.
Right.
So I didn't find all these details out till I was released.
Like I didn't do anything.
So I'm telling Dad, if you just can get me out of here,
yeah,
I promise I'll beat this.
Right.
You know. So my poor Dad. I love you, Dad. Thank you for helping me with that.
Thanks, Dad.
And so I get out, and we get a lawyer. My buddy had a DWI, and this lawyer helped him out. So he said, call this lawyer. And I called him, and he said, well, this is the first thing we need to do. You need to go into that bar. We're going to get the video footage. We're going to find out exactly what happened that night. So I go into Red Rooster, and I talk to Shanna's boss, Jesse, the owner. It's like, can you give me the footage from my lawyer? Because we're gonna take on Pflugerville PD on this one. She's like, I'll get you the footage, Eric, but footage ain't gonna do shit for you.
It ain't gonna help your case.
You know, it's just gonna make Rodney King look like a good guy, and you look like an asshole. They should have beat your ass a lot worse than they fucking did. You know what I mean? And I was like, what are you talking about? And so you start gathering facts, and, you know, apparently it was all on me.
I was kind of a dick.
So I own it, you know, because everybody was just like, oh yeah, dude, you're lucky to not have any broken limbs or jaw, because I was just a total son of a bitch.
And you're like, you didn't hurt anybody else either.
Yeah. Well, I hurt Shanna a lot.
Yeah.
Just from that happening. Yeah. It's just something you got to live with.
Well, you got a good song out of it. A couple of good songs, and I hear
That's the upside.
That's the upside. And it's honestly, it's a good thing that you have that release, you know, that you can use and tap into it. Some people don't even have that, you know, you can at least vent it in a way that it's, you know, I mean, the Travis County Jail song, it's kind of a, you know, you listen to the song and you do visualize, like I'm visualizing Eric getting tased and thrown on the floor, and, you know, and the way, but it's kind of in jest almost, it's like you're making fun of yourself a little bit.
I'm making fun of something that's not really funny at all.
No, but sometimes you just got to take that really dark shit and just like, you own it, and like, I just fucked up, so.
You turn it into parody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, like the other song, The Creature, is taking something dark and deep and being really completely honest with it.
Yeah.
Travis County is just like a lighthearted parody of that very thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, but, you know, it is good that you have that. So, well, I appreciate your time and your honesty and openness about where you are and
appreciate
your journey. I mean, you know, because I know it's a struggle. I do.
It is.
I feel for you.
Well, I appreciate your friendship and for having me on. And
well, I just love you, man.
I love you too.
Just love you.
I hope this turns into something good. I'm sure it will.
I hope it does. I mean, you know, my life journey, just God, since I was a kid, it's just been, the road has been more than bumpy, you know?
Yeah.
And you just, you know, kind of like you do with your songs, you just learn how to maneuver through the shit. And that's kind of how my life has been. And a lot of the shit I brought on myself, just kind of like you.
So,
and you're looking back and kind of where I've been since Zach died is just looking back at like, how the hell did I end up here? Like in this place. And because when you're going through it, you're just going. And then you get to a point where you're like, you know, where did all this really start for me? And so even just like in talking to you and what I'm hoping, you know, with talking to the guests that I have on, it's going to help me in my journey and seeking, you know, some things about myself and putting some pieces of some puzzles together. But also it's always intriguing to me hearing what other people have gone through and how they maneuver through the days.
And that's essentially, I mean, aside from our friendship, that's why I agreed to do this, because no one really likes talking about this stuff, you know, digging up the dirt of your life. But I think that, like I told you when we agreed to do this, is that if it can help anybody,
yeah,
one person avoid the trap doors I've fallen into, then it's worth doing it, and maybe it'll help me too.
Well, it takes a lot of courage to get in front of a camera and sit here and own your shit, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud to call you my friend. I really am.
I'm proud to be your friend.
I love you guys. So.
Love you too.
Even got my American Gypsy shirt on. Well, we're gonna wrap up. You can, you know, this is major plug for Gypsy. I mean, they're an Austin band, but they're on, you know, all the social media and you know, all kinds of places, YouTube, and where else can they grab your music?
Facebook, Instagram, Reverb Nation. You can get our music on CD Baby, iTunes. It's on our website and Facebook page
and
too.
You can always get with them and order. But if you're out of towner, I mean, do yourself a favor, look them up. And we're trying to get them on the road. So if you are out of town and want to book this band, let us know, because we're trying to get them out there and get them seen a little more than Austin, Texas. So amen. So we appreciate your time, and I'm going to be posting some videos of American Gypsy through the week, so you can get a feel of the band and kind of the stuff they do. And you know, when you're out and watching them, be conscientious of what Erik's going through, because I mean, this takes a lot of courage. And you know, when you've got demons in you, you know, maybe you can look at somebody a little different before you're sending those shots up to the stage. Saying, oh shit, where's this gonna?
Boy, you just made Shannon real happy.
Watch the shot. Send Shannon the shots. All right, you guys, thanks for your time, and we'll see you soon. Have a good night.